In the following PowerPoint presentation, we will talk about the imperative. Imperatives are used to express commands, requests, suggestions, directions, and instructions, as illustrated in the examples. Sei nicht traurig. Don't be sad. Mach dir keine Sorgen. Don't worry. The imperative forms are based on the present tense conjugation patterns of du, wir, and sie. The most common imperative form you will use will be based on du. The imperative is illustrated in the table below. Indicative, du kaufst, and the imperative, kauf. Ihr kauft, and the imperative, kauft. Sie kaufen, kaufen sie, and wir kaufen, kaufen wir. Note that in the imperative for du and ihr informal, there is no personal pronoun needed. However, in the formal and in the plural, you have to put the pronoun after the verb. Kaufen Sie and kaufen wir. Let's check out the examples below. Mach deine Hausaufgaben. Do your homework. This is informal and it is a direct address. Du kaufst, kauf. Du machst, mach. Mach deine Hausaufgaben. The E in parentheses only indicates that you may use it or you may not. Backen wir einen Kuchen? Let's bake a cake. To form an informal singular command, drop the st from the present tense do form of the verb. As in English, omit the subject pronoun with the second person imperative. Antworte auf die Frage. Answer the question. Schreib deinen Eltern eine E-Mail. Write your parents an email. Watch out! Verbs that contain a double S in the infinitive do not drop an S in the informal singular imperative, as illustrated at the verb essen. Iss das Gemüse, Tanja. Eat your vegetables, Tanja. Verbs with an A to A umlaut vowel change do not retain this change in the imperative. Illustrated by fahr langsam. However, E to IE and E to I changes are retained in the imperative for du, as illustrated in lies das Buch and nimm den Bleistift. The informal plural ihr command is identical to the present tense form without the pronoun, as illustrated in esst die Äpfelkinder and lernt für die Prüfung. For formal commands, keep the subject sie and invert the subject word order of the present tense, as stated earlier. Remember that the singular and the plural forms are identical. Probieren Sie den Kuchen? Warten Sie bitte hier. Try the cake and please wait here. The first person plural command is equivalent to the English let's. As with Sie, invert the subject verb order of the present tense for wir. Essen wir den Kuchen and gehen wir spazieren instead of wir gehen spazieren and wir essen den Kuchen. In a negative command, nicht or kein follows the imperative form. Fahren Sie nicht so schnell. Arbeite nicht so langsam. Hör keine laute Musik and macht kein Theater. Use bitte to soften a command and make it more polite. Bitte can be placed almost anywhere in a sentence as long as it doesn't separate the verb from the subject pronoun wir or sie, as illustrated in the following examples. Öffnen Sie bitte Ihren Rucksack. Open your backpack, please. You could just as well say, öffnen Sie Ihren Rucksack bitte, or bitte öffnen Sie Ihren Rucksack. Geh nach Hause bitte, bitte geh nach Hause, geh bitte nach Hause. All of these work. The modals können and wollen are often used instead of the imperative for polite requests. Können Sie mir helfen or können Sie mir bitte helfen? Wollen wir gehen? Shall we go? As opposed to please help me or simply help me or let's go. The verb sein has irregular imperative forms. Sei lieb, be good. Seid diskret, be discreet. Seien Sie mutig, be brave. And seien wir realistisch, let's be realistic. On signs and labels and in receipts or printed instructions, infinitives are often used instead of imperatives. Here are some common commands and instructions found in everyday situations. Please notice that in some cases a command is conveyed by using an infinitive of the word verboten rather than the imperative. This is illustrated in the table below. Drücken, push. Ziehen, pull. Bring mir, bring me. Langsam fahren. Warte. Sprechen Sie bitte langsamer. Türen schließen. Rauchen verboten. Betreten des Rasens verboten. Keine Zufahrt. And Parkverbot, which are very common commands.